Another day of this war, and yes, another day we're living through the impossible. It's impossible to imagine for you, I think, that an intercontinental ballistic missile will be aimed at your home, your community, your state, your nation, and that somehow keeps happening. Well, you know, sirens are going off all over, like Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, all over central Israel, as these missiles from Yemen, from the Ansar Allah, from this terror group called the Houthis, are continually shooting at us. I mean, what in the world? How do you live like this? We've got to see a change, my friends. Hamas is going to and is paying a heavy price for rejecting every single offer given to them. And Steve Witkoff, you know, with the United States, he proposed to them, and they said absolutely not. They rejected it, and they're going to pay a heavy price. You know, IDF Chief of Staff, he hails new graduates as we continue to bring new young people in to stand with us. And we say we continue to do what we vow to do, which is to return all of the hostages home, whether they're even just bodies in body bags. We're going to return them all. All of us are wondering, what does this mean, this joint statement of UK, Canada, and France, that they said they're going to take concrete measures against Israel? I mean, that is now, and they said they're going to decide that in the next few days, what these concrete measures against Israel are, because we're defending ourselves, because we're taking out the Hamas, because we are trying to rescue our brothers and sisters from those tunnels of terror and torture and darkness and despair. My friends with Hayuvel, you know, they shared something so unbelievable that the big summit, they had this big summit there with the Israel guys in the United States, in Texas, in Dallas, Texas, and they said that that the nature of the threats were so big of potential violence that they had to get snipers, they had to get all kinds of security detail, and it was actually told them that they had to cancel the event. Imagine the disappointment. Having to cancel an event where you have members of Knesset, you have delegates from all over the world showing up there. And what they said is that there's just too much concern for everyone's safety, and that these American jihadist groups are threatening violence, and so they would have to pay, like for a private army, pretty much hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to protect this event. Can you believe that? And so they had to cancel it in America, in Texas. I look at where we're at in the timeline of history, and I just say this is so, I mean, the implications are massive. It means that the influence of extremist groups are stopping us from fulfilling our constitutional rights to gather freely without paying hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. We need to fight for what we believe in. We fight for for our rights, you know, and the Israel Air Force is doing that, as Hezbollah is not completely surrendering. They've decided to continue to produce UAVs, drones, unidentified flying vehicles, all kinds of stuff, and they are being struck. Yeah, and Kana, there's evacuation warnings because Israel is launching a defensive operation there in Lebanon again. That's right, again. And just to make sure that they won't regroup, that they won't be able to attack us with swarms of drones and so on. And Channel 12 is reporting that, you know, they could then retaliate, and they could start going back at it. I really hope they don't. Really hope they don't, because we worked hard to push Hezbollah back. And they have long-range missiles still that could reach Tel Aviv, and there's quite a threat from their arsenal. But you know what? If you don't keep standing strong, well, you'll lose. You'll be overrun. You can't give up. And so you have this scenario where the Lebanese security source told Al Jazeera that they are going to they want to attack Israel, and so Israel's warning them, do not do it. Do not do it. I'm very, very happy to announce that the bodies of the beloved residents of kibbutz Nir Oz, you remember that kibbutz that was completely attacked, devastatingly attacked? So you have Gidi Weinstein, and Chagi Weinstein were returned to Israel. These precious souls were buried, and our guys got a good tip, and were able to. I mean, 98 had to work so hard, and our guys had to work so hard, but we were able to get the bodies home for proper burial. And we honor all of the Jewish people, even if they've already passed. They deserve a proper, decent burial, and they'll get this now. This is our sacred work, our promise. Am Yisrael Chai. Psalm 60, verse 11 says, "Give us aid against the enemy. For the help of man is of naught. With God we will do valiantly, and he will trample down our enemies.